let's get right into it. Welcome everyone to Gaara's reveal or review video. Plenty of new cards have been revealed yesterday. So there's a bunch of cards we have to talk about today. Let's kick this off right away just because, you know, there's a bunch of cards right here. The very first card we have is a Blast Master Boom. So Dr. Boom is back in town. This time it is a class-specific warrior legendary, and as I mentioned already in the previous video, that every class gets two class-specific legendaries. So this is the warrior one, or one of the two warrior ones. So warrior will only get one more legendary. So every class-specific legendary has a huge impact on the playability of a class, just because every class gets only two and a bunch of cards are rotating out. Especially the most powerful currently existing cards are rotating out, which is very, very important. So we have a 7 mana 7/7 battlecry summon 2/1/1 boom bots for each bomb in your opponent's deck, and those bombs, the bombs that you shuffle in the opponent's deck are the ones you draw. If he draws them, you deal 5 damage to the opponent. It is usually a very slow effect in general because it requires your opponent to draw the majority of the deck, so he just draws the bombs. So you would play this in a slower control deck because there's not so many cards available that draw your opponent cards anymore, since Cold Oracle rotated out. Like, how do you force your opponent to draw cards? You just kind of have to wait. Well, we haven't seen all the new cards, but with the currently existing cards, you kind of have to just wait till he draws his deck. So you kind of have to automatically play it in a slower deck. You can't really play it in an aggro deck and you hope that he draws the bombs. It's way too RNG and inconsistent, especially because these cards are not that powerful aggro tempo wise. So it's cards that you kind of want to play like a slow bomb control deck, whatever the hell that is supposed to mean. But I was thinking about this mechanic, and I think the most consistent way is to kind of like wait till you get Alexstrasza out and then you shuffle a bunch of bombs in your opponent's deck. And classes like Rogue already seem, I will get to Rogue in a bit when we talk about like the next reveal cards, but Rogue might be a tier 1 deck already because Rogue seems to get the most busted cards of the new expansion. And what Rogue is still missing, which is very important, is that Rogue has no ways to regenerate life. I don't think you will play, yeah, Kingsbane will be gone, and there's like no real way for Rogue. You have to play neutral cards. Those are usually pretty bad. To heal, there's no heal bot or something like that yet. Who knows what we will get in this expansion. But one of the big weaknesses for Rogue will be, because I feel like Rogue can generate, already with just the existing announced cards, Rogue can probably generate infinite value. And it will be like a common way to beat Rogue to just reduce their life pool to 0. And with Alexstrasza and 3 bombs, you would just kill him. And even if they have like, let's say 20 additional cards in their deck, you can just kill him. So it might be something that maybe you will not go full bomb control warrior, whatever, but you will maybe play a few bomb cards so that you can go Alex into bomb. So Blastmaster Boom seems weaker than Dr. Boom because it requires you to have bombs in the opponent's deck. You need 1 bomb in the opponent's deck to beat on the same power level as Dr. Boom, because you get 2 1/1 boom bots for each bomb in your opponent's deck. So it's not too bad, because another card, I might talk about it already, is the Clockwork Goblin. It's a 3 mana 3/3 mech. Battlecry, shuffle a bomb into your opponent's deck. When drawn, it explodes for 5 damage. It's a card you would not want to run in a regular control warrior, just because it has like no value besides 3 mana 3/3, and you don't really see the deal 5 damage as value. But it is a mech, and Dr. Boom, the hero card, is still in the game, so it might be relevant. I think this card is going to be sick to discover it from Omega Assembly and the Dr. Boom hero power. Not just this one, but also the one we got last week, the Omega Devastator, which is also mech. So mech, control, Dr. Boom, Control Warrior seems to be already super sick. Definitely a deck I'm looking forward to. And if you are playing some of these cards, you might want to play this guy. Another cool thing is that you can just discover them or get them from Omega Assembly, not even play them in your deck. You know, it might be that you can just discover them consistently from Hero Power and whatnot. And as soon as you play one of those, like bomb shuffle mechs or cards, maybe we get another mech that shuffles a bomb, then this Blastmaster Boom doesn't seem too bad. Like, you only need one bomb really for this already to be a decent card, like to be literally a Dr. Boom. And Warrior does already like hold a lot of cards in his hand, and you already play slow, so this might be cool. And the thing is, if you shuffle 2 bombs in your opponent's deck, this card is already busted, like super crazy strong. So maybe it's worth it. You might even OTK your opponent with the boom bots. I think this is a very good card if you get to shuffle 2 cards in your opponent's deck, and if you get like nice bomb support cards, why not, right? It's a crazy powerful card. And it might give Warrior a nice way to win, not just, you know, through fatiguing your opponent, but also just kill your opponent. I kind of like this card because it requires setup. It's not just brain dead play a way above average busted card like Dr. Boom used to be. Like, it doesn't require any decision making, any deck building, just put it in your deck and play it on curve and you win. This requires setup, and if you get a nice setup, it's better than Dr. Boom. So yeah, you can discover this from like Omega Assembly, Dr. Boom, Hero Power. I kind of like this card. I think it's pretty sweet. We will see if Control Warrior will be playable without Baku, but definitely something I'm looking forward to. I like the design and I think it's a cool concept. The next one is the second Mage Legendary. So from what I can like conclude from the videos, from the reveal videos from Blizzard, is that every class gets only 2 class legendaries. And with this Khadgar and Kalecgos revealed, those are the 2 legendaries Mage will get. So Mage will not get any more class legendaries. Those are the ones we get. So this is already like plenty of information we can deal with, or we can, you know, utilize. And Khadgar is the second Mage legendary card. It is a 2 mana. I'm a big fan of cheap legendary cards because those are like the most impactful legendaries, but also the most difficult ones to design, especially 1 mana legendaries. 1 and 2 mana legendaries are my favorite because yeah, they have usually very cool effects and are usually very powerful, playable, but also like very difficult to design. It's very interesting. How do you make a cheap legendary and not make it completely busted? Well, in the case of Kelesev and Patches, they didn't quite hit the mark, but with cards like Finlay, those were like super fun to play and a very cool card. So what about Khadgar? Your cards that summon minions summon twice as many. Very interesting effect. So this is a cheap legendary card that you don't want to play earlier, unfortunately. Usually every card you play in the game, you kind of want to also automatically be able to play on curve. You don't want to just hold a card. It is clearly a combo card you want to use at the same turn as another card. I think when I'm talking about this card, I should talk about Power of the Creation at the same time because it makes sense. It is a legendary mage, epic mage spell, Power of Creation. Discover a 6-cost minion, summon 2 copies of it. So you immediately get support. Can someone quickly tell me if Dragon's Fury is still in the game? Or if it's rotating out as well? 6-cost minions. So basically you can play these 2 for 10 mana together, and then you get 4 6-drops on the board, which is pretty powerful. And you have this Khadgar as well, which has to be removed, because if he doesn't get removed, you just play another Power of the Creation and get another 4 6-drops. So very powerful power play. It's rotating. So this would have been nice with a new version of Big Spell Mage, because, you know, this is like new form of greed. You just refill the board. You could go like, you know, play these 2, have a full board, and then the problem with Alana, why I didn't like Alana in Big Spell Mage is you have only 1 board fill, and most control decks, pretty much every control deck plays board clear, and against Big Spell Mage never filled the board. You always had like 1 threat at a time, and then you play Alana, and then they will always have a board clear. With Khadgar and Power and Creation, you would fill the board, and then fill the board again with another power of creation. Then you curve into Alana, and then he might not have any brawls left or whatever. So it would be way more powerful. But now these big spell mage cards rotating out, I'm not quite sure in what kind of position control mage will be, because yeah, you have like this Katka, which is kind of nice. You still have like the Astromancers. You have the Caligos, which is also pretty cool, but you don't have Jaina, which was the essence of the deck, and who knows how strong face decks are gonna be. The biggest weakness, I would say, there's two big weaknesses in control mage. One is like health gain, survivability, and that's why you need a Jaina. And the yeah, I should definitely mention the Jinalai combo. You know, that's like what people are the most crazy about. You can play Katka into Jinalai and you get double Ragnaros. You just kill your opponent. Maybe you just play it like more like a curve aggressive style deck. You just kill your opponent, because double Ragnaros is pretty nasty for sure. Yeah, you might just play like more aggro, who knows, like aggro beat down. This can also be used as a beat down. Just get some Pyroblast in here. Let's go, boys. Yeah, maybe you play beat down curve mage, something like that, but not so much control, right? You need the card draw, you need the survivability. So far we have not seen too much, and Jaina rotating out is a big hit. Obviously, like Dragon's Fury and stuff rotating out is a big hit. I'm not quite sure, maybe not in this expansion, but in further expansion. Right now I can't really put the pieces together, especially with hero cards still being in the game, with Zul'jin, Hagata and Dr. Boom. How does a mage outvalue that? How does a mage beat that? Elise is rotating out. The Botleys are rotating out. Lich King is rotating out. So far I can't really see it. Like I said, the only way what I can see is maybe you jam in Alexstrasza 2, so we have another dragon. Maybe you play like dragon beatdown mage, something like that. Maybe that works, because you do summon a lot of minions. Can we curve? Mana Worm was nerfed too, so I'm not quite sure how you're gonna curve out with mage just yet, but maybe that's the way to go. So the next one is the most hot topic of the announced card so far. Also, it seems, sorry, I'm talking about this way too much, Astromancer might not even fit so well in this deck, because if you want to curve out, you will play cards every turn, right? And then it might be difficult to have a big hand size. With cards like Astromancer, you want to maintain a big hand size. So but yeah, that's like the idea, you know, you play stuff on curve, big dudes on curve. We will see if that works, but that seems to be the way to go with mage right now, at least. Curve mage. Beat down. High Sparrow and Togwaggle. So this is the hot topic. Is this card too strong? High Sparrow and Togwaggle. Battlecry. If you control a lackey, choose a fantastic treasure. So this is like the Marin the Fox treasure. All 4 treasures are extremely powerful. Getting one at random is already pretty darn good effect. But choosing one is absolutely broken. So the effect is absolutely broken, like the choose effect, choose a fantastic treasure. So how difficult is it to, especially in Rogue, because you can utilize the spells, and Rogue can do crazy stuff with spells. Rogue can do even crazy stuff with 0 mana spells. Rogue can do a lot of things with powerful spells and tempo and minions, and to be able to choose the treasure, oh lord. Like, so the effect, if you can get it off, is absolutely busted. It's crazy. It's crazy strong. So how difficult is it to get this effect? You need to have a lackey on board. Lackeys are 1/1s or 1 mana cards, and this guy. So you need this guy and a lackey, and then you have the effect. A lot of people are saying, oh, this is gonna be, wow, super crazy difficult to pull off. If you look at Quest Rogue, I was like, well, when first Quest Rogue was announced, like the Rogue Quest, that's impossible. Bouncing back 4 minions? 4 minions. In the beginning it was 4 minions. Bouncing back 4 minions of the same name, that's impossible. And you have to play the quest on one? That's impossible. And it turns out the absolute first version of Quest Rogue absolutely broken. Quest Rogue got nerfed 4 times. You have to now even bounce back 5 minions. 5 of the same minion. And Rogue can still pull it off. And lackeys are not even bad. Lackeys are good minions. And all you need is one Lackey on the board and play this guy, and then you get the fantastic treasure. Well, it doesn't seem that hard for me to pull this effect off. I'm pretty sure you can pull it off. Especially if you don't get too crazy new 1-drops and 2-drops. If the meta is not like too two-phase damage oriented. Like cards like Mana Worm being like nerfed is a very big deal. Cards like Wild Growth Innovate being nerfed is a very big deal because it gives Rogue enough time to pull off these combos. So if we would have these crazy beatdown decks that kill you turn 5, turn 6, then cards like these would be pushed out of the meta. But right now I don't feel like it. Blizzard has kind of like learned from their past mistakes. They will not reprint cards like Patches and, you know, super aggressive 1-drops like Tunnel Trog or Undertaker. So I think Rogue will always have the time. This is why Quest Rogue was like a tier 1 meta deck. You just had the time, especially after Tempo Mage was nerfed, the last remaining really phase decks. And now with Baku Mage also rotating out, like if you don't get like some crazy, like even Hunter gets super nerfed and the mid-range Hunter. So if you don't get like a pure face warrior or something like that, you can definitely consistently pull this combo off. I'm very certain about it, and this is going to be a very powerful card, and it will see a lot of play for sure. But yeah, it comes down to the overall power level of Rogue, and you know, if you can build a nice deck around it, but with all the cards rotating out. But this card is definitely very powerful, and this effect is definitely not that hard to pull off. Obviously you will not play it on curve. Like if you get this on curve, that's like super nuts, but you don't really care. If you play this for 7 mana, it's still extremely powerful. Obviously it's like a tempo loss, 6 mana 5/5 is not too great, but you can just, you know, you can even prep out the treasure, right? Yeah, you can play this in the same turn. For 7 mana you can play the Lackey plus this and then prep the treasure. And then you can draw, like, let's say, because you can choose which treasure you get. You can prep the treasure, draw 3 cards that cost 0 mana, then you can 0 mana sprint, 0 mana eviscerate. It's crazy powerful. Who are we kidding? So I talked about this card already. Unidentified Contract. This is another Rogue card. Destroy a minion, gain a bonus effect in your hand. It's like one of those unidentified cards. It has pretty powerful effects. They have shown in the demonstration some crazy, like, yeah, that they got like a crazy meteor from this. Like you kill a minion and then it does the same damage to the adjacent minions as the killed minion's attack power. So if you kill a mountain giant, you would deal 8 damage to the adjacent minions. I think this is more powerful than a meteor on average, because you will usually target something that is the strongest minion, and then you will deal even more damage. But it is unidentified, so you will have different outcomes. It's a neat spell. I'm not sure. Rogue doesn't really need it. I think it's like too slow for Rogue. Rogue has like Eviscerate, Zaps, you know, had Wildspine Slayer. I don't know if Wildspine Slayer is still in the game. But every Rogue removal is usually cheaper. And usually Rogue prefers Zap. So in other classes they will be sweet, but I'm not so sure if this is good enough in Rogue. Range Caliber. After your hero attacks, shuffle a bomb in your opponent's deck. It's like a warrior weapon. Another card that shuffles bombs in your opponent's deck. It's a little bit more interesting, maybe not more interesting than the mech free drop. It's probably as interesting. It's more interesting because it's a weapon, but the 4 mana 3/2 weapon is pretty trashy. And shuffling a bomb in your deck, well, so you would only play this in a bomb warrior deck. Other than that, it's just too weak, too little value. Even a 4 mana 4/2 would not be good enough, probably. A 4 mana 5/2 would be, yeah, Arcanite Reaper level, but yeah. Maybe in like aggro pirate warrior. I mean, in like an aggro warrior, this would not be too bad, because if your opponent draws the bombs, that's like the nuts, but it's too slow. Because you kind of want to finish usually games by turn 6, 7 if you play an aggro deck. And yeah, if it doesn't draw the bombs, it's just a 4 mana Vorex. Even worse than a nerfed Vorex, pretty bad. But we shall see. Weapons usually always see play, which the history of Hearthstone has shown. I talked about this card already. Evil Cabal Red. So it's a 2 mana 1/1. Battlecry, add a Lackey to your hand, Beast. It's a neutral card. We've seen Chucky play this in Zoo on the reveal stream. Yeah, if you need Lackeys, you will play this card, right? Other than that, it's like a combo card, gives you more combo cards. Doesn't seem too powerful, just like a filler card, I would say. But if you need lackeys, and this is the theme of the expansion, then you will play this card, right? Dr. Boom Scheme. I see a lot of people being very upset about this card because, okay, we had Baku in Control Warrior, right? Hero power upgraded to gain 5 armor per turn, and now we have Dr. Boom Scheme, gain 1 armor, upgrade each turn. So after 4 turns, well, it has to be in your hand. So if you top deck this card, it's 4 mana, gain 1 armor. So if it's from the beginning in your hand, after 4 turns, it gives you 4 armor. Shield Block is a 3 mana, gain 5 armor, and cycle card. So when is this card better than Shield Block? At 5 armor, it's still not better. At 6 armor, still not better. 7 armor, still not better, because you draw a card. Cycling a card is kind of like worth 1 mana in a sense. It's worth a card. So 4 mana, 10 armor is okay. 4 armor, 10 armor is okay. So this card has to be for 10 turns in your hand to be okay. Complete unplayable trash, right? Unfortunate because spells you don't really want to be trash. Maybe we get like some crazy OTK, you know, Shield Slam that can go face. And if Shield Slam if we get a card that can go face with Shield Slam, like, then we would play a card like this because you would just, you know, kill your opponent as a combo tool. But as a standalone, unfortunately, very unfortunate. It should be gain 2 armor per turn. I think that would be nice. But yeah, you can't top deck a card. It's just so slow. Maybe as a one-off, because after Dr. Boom, it gives you like a safe Dr. Boom deployment. You can play Dr. Boom, and then if this card somehow stays for 20 turns in your hand, and then you drop low, and then you play this and gain 20 armor, it's insane. But this card literally has to stay in your hand for the entire game. If this card stays in your hand for like 15 turns, it's insane. But it does have to stay in your hand for 15 turns. So maybe as a one-off tech card for fatigue matchups, I can see it. But other than that, not too great. Messenger's Raven, Battlecry, discover a mage minion. It's kind of like the neutral one, the Cabal Red. Was it Cabal Red? It was a 3 mana 2/2, discover a minion from a random class, from the Troy classes, Priest, Warlock, or a Mage. This is Battlecry, discover Mage minion, and now we have like a higher chance to discover Caligos, which is super insane. Or this guy, which is also super insane. We just got like 2 insane minions, so this card is also a 3/2 instead of a 2/2. Very powerful card, very powerful effect. Good stats, decent stats. It's a nice free drop. Powerful effect because mage minions are good. We just saw 2 good ones. I like this card. You can also get a water elemental to play it on curve. I think mage minions are pretty nice. Yeah, pretty good card, to be honest. Pretty good card. You'll definitely play it as a 2-off, I think. Against control decks, also Discover. Everyone loves Discover. I love Discover. If you think about Stonehill Defender rotating out, this replaces it. It's a 3/2 instead of a 1/4. It doesn't have taunt, it's not defensive. But if you want to play Mage as like a beatdown curve deck, and this card gives you hand size as well, and it can give you like more cards like Khadgar, it would fit perfectly in like a curve beatdown summon mage deck, dragon mage deck, I think. And it's a beast, might be relevant for something as well. It's a pretty good card. Pretty sure you're gonna play this card. And it's common too, it's cheap, everyone will have it. Henge Clan Burglar, Battlecry, discover a spell from another class. It's a pirate. Every pirate was always relevant, so it is gonna be relevant. Not quite sure how good this is gonna be. It's neat, it doesn't require combo, so you just play it and you get a spell. It's pretty neat. It's a pirate. We'll definitely see play in some deck for sure. It's like a 4 mana 4/3 that doesn't require combo activation. It's a pirate. Like the tag is definitely relevant. It doesn't requiring combo is relevant. Kobold pirate. Not quite sure how that is supposed to work, but yeah. Just a nice card, right? Just a nice little card. Traveling Healer, Divine Shield, Battle restore free health. So compare this to Earthen Fascia, which is a 3 mana free, restore free. For 1 more mana you get Divine Shield and 1 less attack. So you pay 1 mana for Divine Shield and 1 less attack. And Divine Shield kind of counts as 2 HP on average. So it's like 1 more HP. You can see this as a 4 mana 3/4 that heals for free. It's just a neutral minion. The heal is not enough. If this was more healing, it's relevant. But a 4 mana minion that heals for free is just not good enough, I feel like. If it had taunt, it would be good, but it doesn't have taunt, so it's not too great. If you need Divine Shield, you know, we have minions in the game that require minions with Divine Shields, taunts, lifesteal to be in your deck. Maybe we get more of those. Divine Shield might be relevant. Like, it might be like a card you would play because of the Divine Shield, and it's also a defensive card, it heals. And it's a battle cry, so Shadow Walk, you know, can be relevant, but it's just like a neutral, it's nice effect neutral filler card. Lightforged Blessing, twin spell, so you can cast it twice. Give a friendly minion lifesteal, 2 mana. You can give 2 minions lifesteal. Paladin has a lot of cards that have synergy with regenerating health. And this is now another one. And you can play this card twice and then play it again twice. You can play this card 4 times. So you might build some lifesteal Paladin deck. There's definitely like a lot of usage for this card. I think this is pretty sweet. Seems better than most like life generation cards. It's better than this guy. This thingy. You give charge minions lifesteal. Being able to cast the spell twice. I think Twin Spell on a cheap card is much more powerful than Twin Spell on an expensive card. Just because it's more likely you will be able to cast it twice. 2 mana is still a lot. 2 mana for lifesteal is still a lot. You're really overpaying here a lot. But if you play like a control Paladin, the overpay of 2 mana is not a big deal. And if you just want to survive, you would play this card. It's not a crazy powerful card, it's just lifesteal on a minion. It's just survivability, and it's expensive survivability. But being able to cast it twice is pretty neat. Hopefully they playtested this, if it's not just complete trash. Yeah, you can combine this with Pyromancer to clear boards and heal, which is neat. Just neat. Not too crazy powerful. We'll see, because the overall power level of Hearthstone is gonna go down for sure. But we have to see. I'm still like a little bit skeptical because 3 hero cards are still staying in the game. I think a lot of people are underestimating the power of Dr. Boom, Hagata, and Zul'jin. Like, you can't have like classic WoW and 3 decays still in the game. Like, you will notice the 3 decays. Especially with Hunter getting more powerful spells. I think Hunter will still be playable. Like, everyone is like, it will not be as crazy as Hunter is right now. Well, it's the best class in the game. Everyone is like, oh, Hunter's unplayable. I think it will, because you have still Zul'jin, I think some sort of Hunter will still be playable. Always is. This card is not crazy by any means, but if you play Zul'jin, this is a pretty damn good spell to cast for free. You get 2 Wyverns with Rush. Like, you play this, you will have another Wyvern with Rush in your hand, and Rush just clears stuff. You can use this as a 6 mana 5/5 clear, which is pretty good. It's pretty good. And then you have another 5/5 that clears. It's super nice. And then if you play Zul'jin, you will have like a 5/5 that clears, but you will still have another one in your hand. I think it's super nice. I think it's a nice card, especially for Zul'jin, and Zul'jin stays in the game. Definitely relevant. Keeper Staldaris. After you cast a choose one. Depends on if you can build a Hunter deck, of course, with Zul'jin. Then you will definitely play this. I'm not sure if you will play it once or twice. If you play it twice, you might play it twice. If you play like defensive Spell Hunter that builds around Zul'jin. Keeper Staldaris. After you cast a choose one spell, add a copy of both choices to your hand. I like that they make like a lot of cheap legendaries. I'm super excited about cheap legendaries. It's like the Druid legendary. Very interesting, right? A lot of value. You play this into Keeper of the Druid of the Claw, and then you get the Keeper of the Claw, Druid of the Claw on the board, and you get both choices in your hand. That's like ridiculously powerful. That's like crazy powerful. Like in terms of value, you get free, like you get 2 free cards. Choose one spell, not minion. Oh, you choose one spell. Okay, never mind. Sorry, I apologize. Okay, what's the most powerful combo with this card? Mark of the Lore. Give a minion +2/+4 and taunt. And you get both of them into your hand. Copies of both choices to your hand. That's pretty sick. I like it. It's very, very powerful. I mean, the card is powerful. It's just a super powerful card. You will definitely play this. Powerful card. Definitely see play. And that's it for the new cards.